For more reaction to Tesla's delivery numbers and the road ahead, let's bring in Tim Higgins. He's business columnist at the Wall Street Journal, also a CNBC contributor and author of Power Play, Tesla, Elon Musk, and the Bet of the Century. Also with us, George Gianarikas is an analyst at Canaccord Genuity. George, these numbers, delivery numbers, are better than you expected. Looks like some of those big inventory numbers are being worked down here, but there's still questions about demand and supply from the Chinese makers out there. So what keeps this stock moving in this positive direction?
Well, thanks for having me on. And we think the really important metric from a stock perspective is to watch year-over-year growth trends. If our numbers are right over the next couple of quarters and next couple of years, the year-over-year growth in earnings and non-GAAP earnings and revenue likely bottomed in the first quarter. And if you pay attention to what the stock's done, it probably bottomed in the first quarter. And what gives us a little bit of conviction that they probably will hit that 1.8 number and likely grow into next year is that they've promised to release new vehicles. We don't know what they'll look like towards the end of this year and into early next year. So that gives us some confidence and hope that they can continue that growth trajectory over the next several quarters.
Tim, how important is the premium end to Tesla right now versus that low end where they're facing this challenge from Chinese makers? And I don't know if they're going to have the same kinds of help from the government, either in the forms of tariffs or incentives to keep them moving vehicles versus this new challenger.
Yeah, this is one of the challenges for Tesla right now is they're kind of stuck in the middle. You look at the Chinese rivals and they're kind of biting at the low end of the market, appealing to people who are price sensitive. But then at the high end of the market, you're seeing new entrants out there from Lucid and in China itself from some of the local makers there. They're the hot new product to have in a market where early adopters or people want to have the newest thing. Tesla's lineup long in the tooth and kind of fighting for that middle realm where it's not quite sure how hot the market is.
Phil, what would you add to that? What would be the next important data point to watch?
Well, it's the robotaxi. I mean, this is the one that everybody is keying in on because people want to know if there is truly going to be the level of detail that will give them confidence to say, you know what, this strategy makes sense. On paper, what Elon Musk has said, whether you go back to the last earnings call or previously, on paper, it makes 100% sense in terms of what he wants to do. But the reality is getting robotaxi up and running and truly having an impact in terms of saying, okay, we have a fleet out there and it's X 100,000 or however many vehicles and seeing some trajectory. That's what people want to see. So August 8th is really what people are focusing on, Kelly, because if it's another case of, well, we think we're going to be able to get this, but we don't have a whole lot of specificity, I think it's going to be a disappointment.
Right, exactly. But George, for you, how important is that as well when a lot of people would say robotaxi is a wonderful long-term aspiration, and yet in the near term, how tangible is it?
Look, it's an incredibly important date, like Phil alluded to. We'll see what exactly they talk about their long-term business model. But one key metric that we're focused on when they report earnings is FSD, full self-driving take rates. They lowered the price of it significantly during the quarter. They gave a free 1-month trial. And to the extent people believe in autonomy, which we do, it'll be really important to see how many people opted in and bought that software this quarter. That is the key to the near-term story, in our opinion.
Well, Tim, my question overall, and this includes robotaxi, is what is the value of a Tesla you don't own, and who bears the capital costs and maintenance costs of that Tesla you don't own? Because to me, and maybe this gets to the details, whatever they are, of this robotaxi strategy, that matters a whole lot.
Yeah, Elon has painted kind of two possibilities, two futures. The Tesla will own some of those vehicles, so it'll be like they have their own robot taxi fleet out there, but then also the potential for the consumer, for you to own one of these vehicles and almost be like an Airbnb situation where you rent it out, you send your robot out into the world to earn its living. The challenge, however, is we haven't seen this technology really from Tesla yet. They haven't demonstrated the ability to deploy robots into the world to act as robot taxis. We've seen some companies in the world do it. Here in San Francisco, I can go outside my door and watch a Waymo go by on a regular basis. but we haven't seen Tesla do it. And that's going to be one of the key things here in August is what are these timelines for actually deploying real fully self-driving technology?